What's up, Mafia? The Jeffrey Simmons deal just dropped, and whether you realize it or not, it changed everything for this roster. One Eagles star still waiting on his new deal, a pass rusher out of Las Vegas that Philadelphia can't stop talking about, and one former Eagle on the radio completely losing it defending QB1. It's a lot to get into, so let's get it mixing. Alright, let's get into it. Jeffrey Simmons of the Tennessee Titans just signed a deal. 3 years, $105 million. That's $35 million a year. And just like that, the defensive tackle market has just been reset. According to Ian Rappaport, a deal has been done and $100 million is fully guaranteed. And here's what nobody wants to say out loud. That number had Jalen Carter's name written all over it. Carter's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, is looking at that contract right now, and you already know what he's going to ask for. Now the problem is, the Eagles aren't sure if they want to give that to him. Our Breer reported this week that the Eagles are hesitant to pay Jalen Carter. And it's not just about the money. According to Greer, there are health concerns, and I quote, character concerns, on the table that makes the Eagles hesitant to give Jalen Carter a new deal. Now, let's be real. Jalen Carter spitting on Dak Prescott week 1 of the 2025 season and getting ejected before he even played a single snap, that doesn't go away in the negotiation room. Then reportedly, he shows up late for meetings and missing time because of a shoulder he probably should have gotten fixed earlier during the year. Then, only playing 11 games last season and totaling 3.5 sacks, which by all accounts is low by a player of his standing. But here's what concerned fans keep forgetting. In 2024, the Super Bowl year, Jalen Carter had 43 total pressures in 16 games, and an 11% pressure rate. That's elite amongst that position. He single-handedly changed the Rams' divisional game with the sack on Matthew Stafford. Offenses were doubling him and Jordan Davis, and the guys were still getting through clean. On defense, Jalen Carter is a difference maker. Now, you can argue Jeffrey Simmons is a better player right now. Sure, Simmons had 11 sacks last year. Jalen Carter had 13.5 sacks his entire career. But Jalen Carter is 25 years old. Simmons turns 29 this season. You're not paying the same price for a 25-year-old with that kind of ceiling. So, what does the Jalen Carter deal look like? My guess, and this lines up with what's being reported, somewhere around $100 million guaranteed, $35 to $36 million a year on a 3 to 4 year contract, with a team-friendly structure with projections and bonuses included. And honestly, I think the Eagles were waiting for the Simmons deal to get done. They didn't want to be the team that reset the market. Now they have a clear number to point at, and now they can negotiate a real framework for Jalen Carter's deal. I still believe the Eagles paid Jalen Carter, even with the hesitant narrative being thrown around. But drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear where you stand with Jalen Carter's contract. Do the Eagles pay him now, or do they make him earn it during this season? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. But hold on, because this is where it gets interesting. Because while the Eagles are hesitant to pay Jalen Carter, now, out of nowhere, people are floating the idea of trading Jalen Carter for Max Crosby. Raiders beat writer Hundo Carpenter said it directly. The Eagles are nuclear hot on pursuing Max Crosby.
Telling you there is a lot of interest in Max Crosby. 2 teams specifically nuclear hot, the Eagles and the 49ers. I still believe there are 2, maybe as many as 3 other teams absolutely in play for Max. Okay, does that mean that Max is in Spytek's office? I want out? No. Does that mean that Spytek is like, I want him gone? No. But it means the reality is, last year I told you I did not believe he was up for trade or even remotely available, and I was right. I was told that. I do believe someone could get Max. Absolutely. He could be had, have to be the right team, and it would have to be the right price.
And look, I get it. The race to be the best defensive unit in our conference is now getting real. Micah Parsons goes to Green Bay. Myles Garrett goes to the Rams. Every NFC contender is stacking their edge room right now. The Philadelphia Eagles added Jonathan Grenard during this offseason. He's a good player, and that was a solid move. But he's not a superstar on the level of those other guys that we just mentioned. So, the question becomes, do the Philadelphia Eagles make a run at Max Crosby? Here's my issue with the Carter for Crosby talks. The Eagles already said no to trading Carter for Micah Parsons. They said no to trading him for Myles Garrett. So why in the world would we say yes for Max Crosby? Max Crosby is the top pass rusher in the league, no question about it, but he turns 29 this season. He failed a physical with the Ravens early this year because of his knee. You'd be giving up a 25-year-old generational interior talent for a guy who has a question mark on his health. As Howie Roseman goes out there and gets Max Crosby, I want it to be in exchange for Nolan Smith and some draft capital. Maybe a second rounder and maybe throw a little bit something extra in there. But for Jalen Carter? Absolutely not. Jalen Carter would be one of those players who I would keep off the table. Because when you pair Crosby, Carter, and Jordan Davis, that's a defensive line that wins championships. And you don't break all that up to bring on one piece to your team. Alright, on to a quick one, but this one actually matters. Jihad Campbell is switching his jersey number. Number 30 is gone, and he's now going back to number 11. His same number that he played during his college days at Alabama. Now normally, I don't care about jersey numbers, but 30 on a linebacker, it never made sense and it looked goofy. 11 is a cleaner number and it fits him a lot better. And when you're expecting a guy to be the full-time starter, his number should match his presence. But here's the real story though. People have been reporting that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. has been crushing it in OTAs and at minicamp. Beat writers across the board have mentioned him being in the right spot at the right time, almost picking off Andy Dalton and excelling in Vic Fangio's system. Campbell's been out with a lingering shoulder injury, and the longer he sits, the more reps that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. gets, and the more he gets to prove himself in this defense. I'm not saying that Jeremiah Trotter Jr. takes the starting spot. Jihad Campbell's ceiling is way higher than Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s, but when he comes back, Jihad Campbell is going to have to earn that position. And I kind of love the competition for this defense. Now, this is where it all shifts because I need to talk about something that actually made me proud. Hugh Douglas was on WIP this week, and his co-host, Joe Giglio, started down that road. The Jalen Hurts slander narrative. The easiest way to get clicks as a media head. You already know the angle. And Hugh, my man pots and pans, completely lost it and let him have it in the best possible way.
It was Donovan the quarterback of the team when he was playing. It was on him. We helped him out tremendously though.
That's the whole point of this. That's what I mean.
No, it's not. Okay,
you helped out Donovan.
Okay, it is. Okay.
I'm just trying to follow.
No, you got it. I'm tired of this conversation. I am so fucking tired of this fucking conversation.
What are you doing?
Because I'm tired of this conversation. I really am. I'm tired of
That man is tired of this conversation. And honestly, the crash out, that was completely justified. Because think about what they're actually saying when they try to push that narrative. Jalen Hurts has been to 2 Super Bowls in his first 4 years as a starter. And he's won one of them. He's the only active starting quarterback other than Patrick Mahomes to start multiple Super Bowls. Let that sink in, and he's still not even in the top 10 when it comes to quarterback salaries. The reason you pay a quarterback is to go out there and win, and Jalen Hurts has done it time and time again. So I'm not trying to hear any of the other narratives or the drawback when it comes to Jalen Hurts, because at the end of the day, all he does is win. Hugh Douglas knows this, and you can see he's done with all the bashing. Hugh Douglas has been around the game of football his entire life. He's played in this city. He knows what this quarterback means to this team and what the standard of quarterback needs to be in Philadelphia. And watching him sit there and defend Jalen Hurts against people who clearly haven't watched the film, I understand exactly why he crashed out. And once again, it was justified. So, where are we right now with this Eagles team? The Eagles are not falling apart. The Jalen Carter situation is complicated, but it's fixable. The Max Crosby rumors are real, but Howie Roseman's not trading his best interior lineman to go out there and get him. If we do trade for him, it's so that he can play with Jalen Carter. Point blank period. Jihad Campbell is switching his numbers and getting ready to remind everybody why he was drafted in the first round. And Jalen Hurts, he doesn't have to prove anything to the media. He's already proven it to the people who matter, to this city, and to the people in that locker room. So drop your thoughts in a comment, because I want to hear from you and I want to know what you think. Should we make a play at Max Crosby at the expense of Jalen Carter? Drop it in the comment section and let me know. Also remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you already haven't. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on a single video, and follow us on all the socials. All the links are in the description below. And once again, I've been Brother Shy, and this has been the Midnight Green Mafia.